One of the great stories in the history of Alabama football. Signing day didn't mean a whole lot to you as it relates to the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, not at all. No one was knocking on my door, kind of like they weren't knocking on yours either.
No, they would tell me to get out if I was.
But like you, Chris, you've made a great name for yourself in TV and broadcasting here with the Crimson Tide. And I took pride in my opportunity as a football player and have made a name for myself as well. So walking on, yeah, no one was knocking on my door. But kind of like these guys that are signing their scholarships today, once they get here, it's not going to matter. It's all going to matter about what you do in the process now that you've made yourself on campus and available to be a part of this Crimson Tide unit. So yes, you're a 5-star. You signed a great scholarship today. We're glad to have you, but the work's just now about to begin.
And the position could change because, again, not only were you a walk-on, you were a walk-on running back. We get a new coaching staff to show up, and all of a sudden you're a DB, and you are an all-conference player, and then again, the rest is history. Exciting to see, I know for you. I've talked with you and John Parker Wilson, who are teammates, of course, and colleagues now on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, to go from where that program was, a vision, a past, but a vision for the future, and to be a part of truly the ground floor of building what is the greatest dynasty in the history of college football. We're going to hear from you on that in a moment, but the man who laid the groundwork for that dynasty is stepping to the podium right now.
To, welcome this group of signees, early signees. I think this is the 5th year we've had an early signing date, and it's kind of become the signing date for a good number of players. We were able to add 22 players to this class with the possibility of maybe another guy or two before it's over. 7 of those players are from the state of Alabama. This day represents the culmination, at least for now, for a lot of people who do a great job of being a part of our team to help us attract, character quality people who want to get an education, who want to be great football players to this university. People in the university community do a wonderful job of helping us in our recruiting efforts. Our administration, Dr. Bell, Greg Byrne in the athletic department, many people around the university community do a great job in terms of their time spent and the contributions that they've made, as well as the accumulation of all the efforts of the coaching staff, our recruiting staff, all the people in the football organization. We try to identify the needs that we have, each year, and do the best job we can to identify, the best players that fill those needs. And we think this class will certainly help us continue to, build the kind of program that we want to have in the future, which is very competitive, and that these guys will have a chance to be successful individually and collectively as a team. As I say every year, I think that we're talking about people that are young and still developing. And to be able to encourage them to focus on their growth and development, personally, academically, and athletically, is the hope that we have that they will grow into mighty successful people, in the future. The focus has to be on development because we want guys to look at going to college as a destination, where they're going to get an education, develop a career off the field, prepare themselves for the day they can't play football, not just a direction to, and also develop a career as a football player, but not just a direction to go on and play at the next level, because I think there's a lot of value in how people develop a chance to be successful in life by what they do in college. We were able to satisfy a lot of needs, in this class. Speed on offense. We're always excited to get a quality quarterback, and we think Ty Simpson is certainly, someone who we recruited a long time, know a lot about, has made it the right stuff, and certainly has a lot of talent and ability. We got a lot of speed at the skill positions on offense, running back and wide receiver. We've got a couple really good offensive line prospects, some good tight end prospects, a lot of solid players on defense, a couple guys up front, a couple linebackers, a couple rushers, some people in the secondary. So, overall, I think, we're never totally satisfied with who we're able to attract, but we're very, very pleased with the guys that we're able to attract in this class to this point.
We'll start with Nick Kelly. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, what stands out to you about Jeremiah Alexander's game?
The guy's an outstanding football player. Makes a lot of plays, very instinctive, very explosive, good pass rusher. He's got a lot of power as a player. And he's been a guy that's been productive now for 3 years, in high school. And they won, several state championships in a row. And I think, his leadership and his ability to make plays on defense has probably contributed to that in a significant way. And I think the guy's an outstanding football player.
We'll go to Michael Casagrande. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, could you talk more specifically about Ty Simpson, what he brings in his game, and how will he be able to contribute in bowl practices this year?
It's every player's opportunity if they're mid-year, if they graduate, if they want to come in and, try to contribute in bowl practice, and he's indicated that he may be interested in doing that. Obviously it'll help his development, and it'll help us by having another hand at that position, which is always important, whether it's scout team or, taking reps, with the first and second team in terms of his development. But, Ty is really, they won the state championship. He, won the Player of the Year in Tennessee. Guy's got a really good arm. He's very accurate. He's smart. He's kind of one of those guys that loves football, is always asking football questions, and wants to learn as much as he can. I think sometimes those guys get referred to as football junkies, but that's a good thing, and certainly a good thing at the quarterback position. I think he's bright, he's smart, he's a good decision maker, he's very instinctive as a player. He can make plays with his feet. I just think in every way, he was the guy we targeted in this class as being the guy that we wanted, and we felt very fortunate that we were able to get him.
Go to Aaron Suttles.
I know coaches are still feeling their way through this with name, image, and likeness, and there are things that you can say and can't say, but what was your experience with this recruiting cycle?
Look, the dynamics of recruiting have changed, and we're not supposed to use name, image, and likeness as something that influences a player to choose a school. It's something that he should earn, after he enrolls in a school. I'm not going to make any comments about who did what or what happened out there in recruiting, but all I know is we want to have the best program that we can for our guys in name, image, and likeness when they get here as players, so they can create and develop value for themselves, so that they get opportunities, to have additional income when it comes to name, image, and likeness. And I was very pleased with how our players did this year, and hopefully we'll continue to expand on that in the future.
We'll go to Charlie Potter.
Yeah, hey, Coach, you mentioned speed on offense in your opening. Just what did you think of the group of receivers you were able to add?
Well, I think that's one of the groups that I was referring to. So I think we've had some really good receivers here, in the last, I think, 4 first-round draft picks, and the potential of, the guys that we have this year having opportunities at the next level. So we want to continue to be able to track guys like that, or difference makers, people that can actually put points on the board and make explosive plays, have been something that's really been a significant part of our offensive production. Obviously, you need to have a good quarterback to do that, and Bryce did a great job of allowing those guys to be able to feature their talents. And I feel good about this group of guys. But again, it all goes back to, how do they develop? How can they stay focused on what they need to do to be complete players at their position so that they can play fast and play with confidence? But I think physical ability-wise, this is a very good group.
Go to Tony Sakalas.
What do you think about your defensive line class, and how big of an addition was Curtis Perry today, picking him up?
Well, Curtis is really a good player. He's got great initial quickness. He's a good pass rusher. Guy's very, very productive. He's very instinctive. He runs well. So, we were excited, to get him. And, we wanted to get some guys like that are athletic. And, Jaheim is a big guy that hard to block. And I think we still need to get some guys like that for certain situations. And Isaiah Hastings has a lot of upside and ability. He's only played 1 year of American football this year, but we were really impressed with his ability and his upside and what he can become.
Go to Blake Topmeyer.
Yeah, Nick, as you mentioned, we're several years into this December signing period. Do you think this December period is it good for athletes? Is it good for the sport, or would you like to see something different in the recruiting calendar?
Well, I think, basically what I do is try to adapt to whatever the circumstance and whatever the situation that we have. But, we made a decision to move up the recruiting calendar significantly several years ago. Guys visiting in the summertime, and I think all that sort of married up to having an early signing date. We've just adapted to that and done the best that we can to, but we also said that, and many people said that when we had an early signing date that it would become the signing date. And I think a lot of players now gear their whole recruiting process to make an early decision. I can't really say that that's a good thing or a bad thing. We just adapted to it and try to do the best we can, having earlier visits, having more visits during the season, and then spend more time in January on the few prospects that are left and, junior recruiting for the next class.
We'll go to Bruce Feldman.
Hey, Coach, you've been in the business a long time and obviously been part of a lot of signing days. This is a little bit of a curveball, but I know you work with Deion Sanders on all those commercials. How would you put in context how surprising, if at all, this would be that an FCS program could land the #1 overall recruit?
Really, I have a lot of respect for Deion Sanders. He's a good coach. He's a good guy. He was a great player. He's got great personality, and I enjoy doing commercials with him, but it's not for me to comment on who makes what decisions to go where based on what circumstances. And, he got a great player, and I think that's good for his program. And I'm not really going to make any comments about what happened. I don't really know the background or, the details of, what happened there. But, everybody has the right to make those choices and decisions. That's why it's America, and everybody has freedom of choice. So I'm happy for him that he got a great player.
Go to Stephen Smith.
Coach, you pride yourself on getting the best corners, the technician at that cornerback position. In watching Earl Little Jr., what impressed you the most about his high school career as he signed as a corner?
Well, Earl, I think is, an outstanding player. He's got really good feet. He can run. He's an instinctive player. He plays with toughness. He was on the top of our board, all year long as one of the outstanding corners in the country, and we're excited to have him, excited to get him. I think he's going to have a great opportunity here, with us, based on, the players that we have coming back. So he's a very mature young man, and I think that he's smart, and I think, those kind of guys sort of can develop a little more quickly. His dad was a great player. His dad's a coach. So I think sometimes that adds to, guys' overall knowledge and ability to understand concepts and develop confidence in how they need to play. So we're excited about Earl Little.
We'll go to Justin McNeely.
Hey, Coach. Player down in Emmanuel Henderson has kind of been committed to you guys for a while. What stuck out to you about him, and where do you think he fits in and what he can bring to this Tide team?
Well, Emmanuel is a great athlete. He played a lot of positions in high school. I've asked him on numerous occasions, what do you want to play? And he just says, I'll play whatever you need me to play, whatever I can do to help the team. But I think the guy has special athletic ability, probably could be a receiver, probably could be a running back. Where he fits the best, we'll probably be able to figure out better, once he gets here and we start working with him and can actually, sort of evaluate his skill set firsthand. But we think he's an outstanding young man and an outstanding, player that has, great potential. But again, everybody's got to be focused on what do I have to do to develop as a player, and what kind of mindset do I have to focus on the process of what I need to do it, and how much self-discipline I have to get it done. And Emmanuel seems like the right kind of guy to do those things.
Got time for 2 more. We'll go to Nick Alvarez.
Yeah, I was wondering, you saw a boost this year by having kids back at games and, the recruits kind of getting to know each other a bit beforehand throughout this process. If that kind of boosted, the message you guys are selling.
Well, I always think it's helpful when players develop relationships with other players that are going to be in their class or be on their team, whether it's players that are already here or players that are committed to coming here. And I do think we had a good core group of guys that when they committed early, they stayed in touch with each other and developed a bit of a bond, which probably, was helpful in, keeping the class together.
We'll finish up with a follow-up from Charlie Potter.
Yeah, Coach, just want to ask you quickly about a couple of corners on your current roster and Josh Jobe and Jalen Armour-Davis. Do you just have an update on those guys?
I really don't have an update on those guys. We're starting practice tomorrow, obviously. I don't know what Jalen Armour-Davis's status will be, how much he'll be able to do in practice, where he will be physically. I know he wants to try to play in the game. Josh Jobe is, played with a turf toe, all year long, and it got to the point where it was very difficult for him to practice and be able to play. So he's very doubtful for the game.
Thanks, Coach.
That last question is a reminder of how different things are. Normally, we would have this conversation in February.
Yeah.
But right now it's, we still got a national championship to go chase.
Yeah, no
for
doubt.
The season.
But that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the early signing day, something that's a new process. Like Coach said, this is only the 5th year that this process has been in order, but it has become a great thing. Just imagine a guy like Ty Simpson getting an opportunity to come to practice, show off his skill set. Not only is he going to grow, but that defense is going to get better once you see this kid's highlights, because he's phenomenal. He can spin it all over the field, and we'll get to that later. But just the early signing period, I think it's a great thing, and I think the university has done a great job of getting some really great guys on campus here in December.
No surprise that Coach Saban would be the one to adapt to whatever slider in the dirt is thrown his direction as far as recruiting is concerned and the way the calendar is now built.
Yeah.
But what stands out most to you from this class? Just a quick glimpse of what's transpired. Anything?
I would say just the explosiveness across the board. You look at the receiving group that we got, these guys, each one of them, they can make that play, make that one guy miss and take it 80, 70, 60 yards for a touchdown. Something that we've seen in the past with, the Henry Ruggs, the Jerry Judys, the Jalen Waddles. But, then at the running back position, a guy by the name of Kobe, probably to be a guy that signs with us. So just great players across the board, and just their explosiveness, like I said, is the big thing for me that I take, with this group.
Well, let's take a look at the big board for the first time today. And for that, we check in with Kennedy Chase.
Yeah, hey, Chris. We have 22 names on the big board, with 5 committing in the last hour with our latest, Jaheim Otis. And Chris, when you're looking at these names, how are you feeling?
Feel really good about those names. There is no question about that. It's a great list, great talent, and of course, a great staff that's put it together. When we come back, we'll continue with more of our National Signing Day. Got to get used to this. 2022.
Yeah.
It is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama.
What you do every day matters. At Alabama, it's our process that yields legendary results. This is where ideas forge innovation, dreams unleash opportunities, and contenders become champions. How far do you want to go? The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds. In Bama, they throw it. Oh, my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot.
We have 22 names listed on this board, starting with offensive tackle Elisha Pritchett from Georgia. And Chris, don't you think it's about time we start getting to know some of these players listed up here?
Absolutely agree, Kennedy. Thank you so much. And nobody better to talk about that with than Rashad Johnson, the sideline reporter for the Crimson Tide Sports Network. You'll be seeing these guys up close and personal here very soon. Elijah Pritchett is a big offensive tackle, 6'6", 300 pounds, out of Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia. Is one of the top offensive line prospects in this 2022 cycle.
Yeah, it was only right to start it with a prophet because this guy is baptizing guys on the field. The whole entire time you watch him there, just his explosiveness. And then what I love about him is his hands. He's always fitting them inside and just continually to finish on the play. He's just totally dominant, great stance, great body lean. But like we said, inside the trenches, you want a guy that's physical and mean. And this guy right here, he's baptizing guys, but not the way that we would typically think about it.
That is very well put, partner. And a guy, again, that can create some real problems.
For sure. And what you love about him as well, this left tackle position is the quarterback's blind side. You know, anybody that can stay out there and handle guys the way that he does, not only in the run game, but the passing game, shows you he's a big guy, but he has the versatility to move his feet. Then they move him inside to guard there. Just find 57 and run behind him.
Is that the toughest position for a player to adapt to in college football?
I would say so. I would say the cornerback position and possibly left tackle. Those are just complete islands that you're on the entire time. But I think he won't have a problem adapting as long as he brings that physicality that he has right there.
You mentioned the cornerback slot. The next guy that we're going to talk about is going to be a DB, potentially, a talented defensive back out of Buford High School in Georgia. It's Jake Pope, 6'1", 190. Also saw time at wide receiver and a return specialist in high school. All that tells us is that the four-star recruit is a great athlete.
Great athlete and great play here, just playing the edge of the defense and closing ground there. That's what you love to see. And like you said, a great athlete. Not only can he play offense, but he plays defense as well. And here he is on offense showing you his skills as a receiver. I mean, just completely blows past the defense. No one in sight. Easy touchdown there. But these are the plays that I love. Watching him play safety. See him reading the defense motion. Then he's just playing and anticipating it, being disciplined. Most guys would have ran and tried to pick up that fumble, but understanding, hey, there's still a play to be made. Here he is in the deep middle. Nothing better than playing in the middle of the field. Reading the quarterback's eyes, got a little pressure there, but then he goes up, high points the ball. Not only does he high point it, but he takes it to the house. Now, offense showing up a little bit there on the defense, 6 points.
When you're watching
This is a great play here. Sorry to cut you off, Chris. What I love about this is in the run game, the quarterback run is such a huge play now, and a free safety has to be a guy that can get in and make a play there. And he does a great job doing that. And then being able to time up the blitz here, showing you his closing speed. Reminds me of Landon Collins. Not as big as Landon Collins, but a physical aspect in the terms of the running game and the passing game.
Well, you answered my question. It was going to be, what are you looking for when you see a guy in that spot, especially as a high school kid?
Yeah, as a defensive back, we're looking for a kid, that has great ball skills, not afraid to tackle, and also can just show you that he has an IQ to understand what's happening in front of him. And everything that you saw there, those charts are, off the mark in terms of what he's doing there, but he has all of those.
Well, the guy that we're going to talk about next comes to us from south of the state of Alabama, but truly north of the border of the United States when you go to the Toronto, Canada native, Isaiah Hastings. He's a big defensive lineman at 6'4", 290, but has played prep ball at Clearwater Academy down in Florida.
Yeah, and a big force up front. I mean, when you're looking at a defensive lineman, looking at a guy that's explosive off the ball and can push the pocket, as you saw there. When you're able to get that push, there's nothing that the offense can do. Run the ball, pass the ball, it doesn't matter because I'm sitting in your lap. And that's what he does. He sits to the defender in the lap just like he does there. No chance to run the ball, even if they wanted to. So I love what you see out of this guy with his ability just to cross blocks and just his physical nature at the point of attack. He almost takes that guy's head with him as he tackles the running back. So just a great presence inside and outside. He can switch it up. So when you're looking at a defensive lineman, you're looking at his explosiveness off the ball as you see it there, his ability to close, which he has, and then his physical nature, at the point of attack.
Special talent, special athlete once again. So let's go from there and Isaiah Hastings to talking about Sean Murphy and give us a little background on this young man who's out of Manassas, Virginia in Unity Reed High School.
Yeah, Sean Murphy, an inside linebacker, and what I love about him, he plays old school football. I mean, he just loves to hit people, coming downhill, taking on blocks, and just his ability just to impose his will. Something that Coach Saban talked about all the time as a football player. You got to be able to go out, because at the end of the day, they got good players, we have good players, but can I impose my will and make him be ready to stop? Enough hits like that, and that player won't want to play anymore. But this guy just keeps going. Watch him here on this blitz. Takes on the offensive lineman and just continues to pursue the ball while everybody else watching the game. They're watching number 5 play, and they should get a ticket, but it's a great show to watch. Great show to watch.
Great show, and again, a guy who's not afraid of contact. Just my initial look at him, Rashad, doesn't seem to be a huge guy at that position, but plays bigger than he actually is.
Yeah, and exactly right, Chris. And you don't want a huge guy at that position anymore because of the way the game has changed. It's sideline to sideline in terms of the run game and the passing game. So you got to be able to play outside of the box. And, Sean Murphy shows us that he has those skill sets there. Playing inside, but making a tackle outside of the hash there. Really great job there and great skill set that's going to add to that linebacking core that we have.
So much of the conversation now is about what happens on the offensive side with the record numbers that are put up. But Nick Saban still is looking for guys that can stop you and play on defense, and those last 2 that we saw are indicative of that.
Yeah, great players, like you said. Coach is always looking for, that force that can stop these high-powered offenses. I mean, he even mentioned it, though, that it's kind of hard to stop them, which was kind of, tough to hear him say. But when you got guys like Sean Murphy, Jake Pope, those guys can step in right away and help this defense lift them up and get us to that next level. But they've been playing tremendous this year, and just looking forward to him finishing it off strong.
One of the great things that's changed, fun things that's changed over the years with recruiting is that the fans now know as much or more than we do by the time we get to signing day. And a big reason for that is social media, and the young ladies that are checking on that for us are indeed Kira Goldstein and Kennedy Chase.
Yeah, we get to do the fun stuff. We get to look at their social media, starting out with Elijah Pritchett. He's already cradling that trophy, right? Saying that he's feeling like, it's a feeling like no other, right? Real tied to that. He's cradling that trophy, looking happy and ready to start the season.
Yeah, Jake Pope is ready to come to Tuscaloosa. He feels comfortable here. He's ready to call it home and join the capstone.
Isaiah Hastings, I mean, he's saying it's official. Roll Tide, he is ready to be here.
He looks so comfortable with Coach Saban.
I mean, who wouldn't be that excited standing next to one of the greatest, right?
Yeah, I'm glad he had such a great time here at the University of Alabama. And Sean Murphy, he won this award in high school. He is blessed and honored to win the Butkus Award, and it was an honor to meet Dick Butkus himself. That is so cool.
And then Sean Murphy's also saying, thank you for having me. He had a really great time here with Coach Golding for Alabama football.
Our Bama class is going to be so crazy, and the craziness is not even close to begun. Chris, let's check back in with you.
Ladies, thank you so much. A crazy signing day, indeed, something we've just grown accustomed to at the University of Alabama. We've got more coming up on our National Signing Day Special 2022. It's brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama.
We picture the student athlete for the hit, the catch, the run. But it's time we picture them for more. The flag bearer, the flag changer, the poet, the big dreams, the huge heart, and the team comedian. More than students, more than athletes.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds in Bama end zone. Oh my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us for our National Signing Day 2022 special here on RollTide.com and our social media platforms for the Alabama Crimson Tide football program. I'm Chris Stewart, along with Rashad Johnson, Kira Goldstein, Kennedy Chase, keeping us updated on the latest developments as well. Rashad, let's keep going with things and get into a look at Tyler Booker.
Yeah, offensive lineman, big guy here, 5-star recruit, IMG Academy. Man,
They'll put out a few, won't they?
No doubt about it. And this is a great player here. Like we said, at the offensive line position, which is a huge position. Right tackle, we talked about our left tackle, now at right tackle. Usually at right tackle, it's more of a run force guy. And as you can see here, I hope Amy Bragg has enough pancakes, sir, because this guy right here is smashing everybody, every play. I love his physicality, his punch and control. As you can see there, he's punching the guy and he's controlling him throughout the play. He's not holding there because he's doing a great job of getting his hands inside and controlling them each and every time. He's massive. I mean, 325 pounds. When he puts his weight on you at a high school level, you can't handle it. And it looks like he's going to be a great force for us at the next level, you know, with the weight he's playing here, showing his physicality each and every play.
You know, I'm looking. He chose Alabama over Florida, Georgia, and Ohio State. It's not at all ironic that these guys that battle on the recruiting trail wind up battling, it seems, for the national championship each year as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's that same group, you know, that's always battling for these top guys. But like Coach Saban said, it's all about development. You know, once you get here, who can develop, who can buy in, and where can we go on the other end? And Coach Saban and his staff has shown, you know, each and every year consistently that they do a great job of developing these guys, regardless if they're 4 stars, 5 stars, and they put out great product every year.
Let's go to the offensive side with a wide receiver and talk about the Buford, Georgia native, Isaiah Bond.
Isaiah Bond. I wonder if he's kin to my cousin Jared Bond. But
thought you were going to go James.
Yeah, I know James too.
Okay.
But right here, this is a little guy in space. This right here is simple, just like a running play. Toss sweep, throw it out here to him. and let him make a play. Looks like Barry Sanders once he gets out in the open field, making guys miss, low center of gravity, but his change of direction is what you see and what impresses you the most. And then his ability just to stretch the play out and finish. Right here at the wide receiver in the slot, just a simple go route. Just running past guys that are 15, 20 yards past him. Simple swing route. Once again, watch him play in space. Boom, shot out of a cannon. First in 100 meters every time, I'm telling you. This guy is special with his talent. Out here, just a simple stop route. Can you make the one guy miss? And then after you make him miss, can you separate with the distance and the speed? I mean, Isaiah Bond is terrific with his low center of gravity, his change of direction. But I think what impresses me the most is just his ability to separate at the top of his route, or even when the ball's in his hand. He's just as fast.
It's not uncommon to see guys that can catch it well. It's not uncommon to see guys that can fly.
Yeah.
The guys that can do both are the ones that tend to wind up here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, no doubt. The guys that can do both. I mean, when you watch that kid, it reminds me of a guy, Jalen Waddle. He can catch it in the open field on a swing route, or he can catch a hitch route, and that one guy is not going to make a play. He's going to make him miss, then he's going to take it to the house for 6. Isaiah Bond, a special talent. Can't wait to watch him do his thing on Saturday.
Alabama's national. They compete for national championships. They recruit nationally, in fact, internationally. But you've got still the core of what you find historically for Alabama football is homegrown.
Yeah.
And at a great state, and a product of that, Emmanuel Henderson from Hartford, Alabama, played at Geneva County. He's a running back at 6'1", 185.
Yeah, and a running back he is. Terrific with his change of direction, an ability to make guys miss. But he's an athlete, can do a little bit of it all. Let's just watch him here on this open play. Emmanuel Henderson, like Coach said, we don't know what he's going to play. He can play running back, he can play receiver, but one thing I know he can play is football. So as long as we put him on the football field, we're going to be just fine. Here he is, lined up in the slot. That's just a simple handoff, slicer, dasher. Look like a little bit of LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, in the way that he changes directions and just does it so smoothly and effortlessly.
The way the game's set up now, you don't have to have the label like you used to, do you? Running back or wide out, you can go play and they'll get the ball to you.
No doubt.
Spots.
No doubt. It isn't a label, like you said, because the game is spread out now. It's, 5 wides or it's 4 wides, and we're running speed sweeps. Here he is in a Wildcat, and he is running over guys, So he just shows you his physicality, but also his breakaway speed. And I can tell, why Coach Saban, was smiling so much when that question came about Emmanuel Henderson, because, he's just a flat-out baller. When you look at all these guys, we got a ton of players that are terrific, but to me, this guy right here was just unique in all his talent. Watch this cut back here, just his vision to see, like he has eyes in the back of his head, and then the ability just to finish the play. Those aren't normal runs that we're seeing here.
Yeah, speed and strength that we see there with Emmanuel Henderson. Traquan Fagans comes into a program that knows about winning, but he doesn't have to be taught that. He's coming from Thompson High School, one of the winningest high school football programs in the country the last 3 years.
Yeah, they win and they play great football. I love this kid. Playing down here, press man, just watch his patience. And that guy gave him 3 or 4 moves, kept in phase, now just finishes the play. Great hands there. That's what you got to be able to do. You got to have patience as a DB, and then when the ball's thrown to you, you got to be able to make the play. He does a great job of that there, and here he is again. Uses his hands, throw off the timing, right there to cause the PBU. I would love to see a pick, but that is a terrific play. Up top, showing you the skies. Looks like press man again. Confuses the quarterback. He's in cover 2. Pick 6 to the house. Traquan is a smart football player. You can tell that, has great coaches up there at the Thompson High School. And right here, just a trickery play. So guess what I do? I back off so I can see what's happening in front of me. And comes up and lays the wood. This is probably his best play. The Red Sea parts, I just go and dive in it. Just go and dive in that pool. And most cornerbacks won't do that. But this guy here, not afraid of it. Love it.
So I'm trying to see, and I think Alex passed this along to me in my ear. I believe it's Traquan who's proof that dreams don't always come true, but sometimes they do. Is it Traquan that was it was Tyler Booker, who's one of the young men we talked about earlier, who has wanted to be a part of the Alabama program for a while, and we've got proof of it, I believe, right here, ladies.
Yeah, he has wanted to be a part of this team for a really long time. Here he is with Coach Saban at camp as a young man, looking forward to being part of Alabama, and here he is after officially joining the Tide. What a dream come true that must be for him.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, such a transformation. I mean, he's definitely a dream come true holding that trophy. And then we have Isaiah Bond. I mean, looking stylish in those sunglasses. I want a pair. Don't you, Kara?
Yeah,
oh my
absolutely.
Gosh,
I want
so
a pair
cool.
of those. Those are natty glasses. This is some good vibes right here. Emmanuel Henderson excited to come to the capstone, and more good vibes to come with all these other signees.
Definitely always good vibes here for the Crimson Tide. I can agree with Emmanuel on that. And then there he is, posing with his dad, looking ready. Traquan Fagans looking ready to join the Tide. Let's roll. I think we're all ready to roll, right? Isn't
Absolutely.
that right, Kara? All ready to roll.
Absolutely. Chris and Rashad, you guys ready to roll?
I think we are. It has been fun to watch the Tide roll already. We're talking about 2022 primarily on this show, Rashad.
Yeah.
And early in 2022, Alabama football could have some great things going on.
Yeah.
2021 already has been a tremendous year. And in fact, we're going to look at the first half of the season so far for the Crimson Tide that once again has them back in the college football playoff.
Well, all is good with the world again as Alabama football is on the air. Another season of the Crimson Tide getting set to begin as the Tide and Hurricanes of Miami square off today for the first time since 1993.
Wide open receiver. It's John Mechie lunging for the pylon. It's a touchdown if it stands. Alabama picking right up where it left off last year. Look out. He got hit by Chris Allen and the ball popped out. And Phil Mathis has it for the Tide. Going in circle. 5-man rush. Young, first down. Latu didn't have a catch for his career. Has 2 touchdowns. 25 yards for Cameron Latu. King to the goal line. And he did not get in. Young back in the end zone again on 3rd and 5. That question might have to wait because there goes Jamison Williams to the house. Touchdown, Alabama.
Brick wall after Drew Sanders tipped it. Young finds Bolden, nobody in front of him, and he goes airborne for an Alabama touchdown. Looks, fires, touchdown. Jamison Williams leading the way. First down, touchdown. Chase McClellan.
And you can tell by the crowd reaction, positively and negatively. Here come the Alabama Crimson Tide.
On 2nd and 5, and the throw is out to Slade Bolden. Bolden across the 40, big gainer out to the 45-yard line.
Here now the inside give. Robinson delayed, big slot, right side, 10, 9, down to the 5-yard line.
McClellan a motion out of the backfield. Young's going to look that way. Got it to him. Put a move on one man, and did he get there? He did. Touchdown, Alabama.
Intercepted Alabama at the 40, down the right side. Picked off by Jalen Armour Davis. Quick release to McClellan, but he gets away from the tackler to the 40-45, runs over a man and goes out of bounds at the 49-yard line.
Back looks his way, then throws, man is wide open, caught over the shoulder.
The throw is to wide open Billingsley. If he got the pylon, he got the touchdown, and he did.
Robinson deploys, picks up a man, cuts inside the defender. He'll walk it in for another Alabama touchdown. He'll escape. He'll go to the far side, taken down by Alabama. And that is
is going to be the ball game.
Williams wants to bring it out. Got a seam, got speed, got touch at the 35, but stayed up. What a way to start the game.
He's going to bring it back 101 yards. Touchdown, Alabama.
Action, swing, and that is intercepted off the Carroll. 3rd and 8 to the end zone. Billingsley, beautiful catch for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Alabama.
Keys pressured, and he goes down. Will Anderson Jr. was waiting for him off the spin move. Deep ball grabbed. High point by Javon Baker, and a 34-yard completion from Paul Tyson. Here's a playmaker, Jameson Williams again. On the run again. Down the sideline. It's his second kickoff return for a score of the night. Here we go.
Running back, Ely finds an opening, gets stacked up. I don't think he got there. I don't believe he made it.
Plenty of time, steps up in the pocket, fires to the end zone. Touchdown, John Mechie. Corral's trying to get to the first down marker and won't. Blitz coming. Corral going down. Will Anderson. Has time, running out of time. Down he goes. No, he got away. Young to the goal line. He gets the call. He gets the touchdown, Alabama. Robinson again. This time he's in for the second time today. Brian Robinson has carried the mail into the end zone 3 times today. Make it 4. Touchdown, Alabama.
What you do every day matters. At Alabama, it's our process that yields legendary results. This is where ideas forge innovation, dreams unleash opportunities, and contenders become champions. How far do you want to go? The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds in Bama zone. Oh my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot no brick.
Welcome back to National Signing Day 22. The process begins here. Rashad, we've already been through the first 8 guys, but starting with offensive tackle Elijah Pritchett, let's go through some footage. Tell me what you're seeing here.
Definitely would love to. Elijah Pritchett, here we go. Just a great physical specimen at the offensive line tackle position. First thing you notice as we come into it. It's just his physicality at the point of attack. He's punching guys off the line, and then he's driving them home to finish. Right here, stance and body lean. That initial punch. That's what you look for when you're looking at an offensive lineman and he comes off the ball. Does he have direction? Is he creating space? He created that entire running lane for that running back there, as you see. Just pushing guys off the ball. And it all starts with his stance, body lean. Here he is now, 9, 10 yards down the field. Same thing. What I love about this here in the passing game, a guy that can play the running game, but also a big specimen that also can play in space. So let's just highlight him here, playing in space, one-on-one. How does he do? Great footwork, able to keep his balance and create a pocket for his quarterback to step up, and does a great job giving him a chance to complete a pass down the field. Same thing here in the passing game. It's one thing to run, but can you handle the blitz as well? Getting pressure off the edge, understanding that I got the outside threat that's coming my way. Got you. Right there, he picks him up, does a great job. We want to go over and check out Isaiah Bond as well. Right here, the wide receiver position. Number 1. He should be number 1 on everyone's list. Right here, the very first play is kind of like a run, simple swing pass. But what I love about this is his ability to play in space and make guys miss. This is something you got to be able to do at the next level. Let's stop it here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that can have an opportunity to make the play here, but none of them stand a chance because of his elusiveness and his speed. Not only that, gets on the corner, got him on the sideline. Just use it as your 12th man. Still has the ability to cut the ball all the way back across the field. Great vision, great body control, and I mean, just flat out speed to finish a play. I mean, that's what I love when I see Isaiah Bond here. Right here, just showing you that speed again. Ability to run past guys, make the play down the field, does a great job. Let's go one more offensive player before we get out of here, Emmanuel Henderson. Coach talked about him already. He can play receiver, he can play running back, he can even play quarterback, can do it all. And one thing he does a great job of is hitting the home run when he gets the ball in his hands. Here he is slicing and dicing. Once again, just running away from guys. Everybody had an angle on him, funneled him in, had an opportunity to tackle him here. There's 2 guys, 1, 2 guys, and the next thing you know, he hits the jets and separates with his speed. So I've just shown you some guys that have power up front, and Elijah Pritchard, Isaiah Bond with his elusiveness and quickness at receiver, and now Emmanuel Henderson that has that home run threat that can just take it to the house each and every time he gets the ball in his hands. And does a great job there with his vision to cut back. I mean, just special talents that we're getting on the offensive side of the ball. Really excited about those guys.
Yeah, you talked about special talents. There have been some special talents in this class that we're seeing and also in previous classes. Let's take a look back at the class that signed 10 years ago, the signing class of 2012.
The Alabama recruiting class of 2012 was ranked #1 in the nation that year and boasted impressive players including Geno Smith, Kenyon Drake, Reggie Ragland, Landon Collins, and Amari Cooper, just to name a few. They won at least 1 national championship, with many of them winning 2, as well as 2 SEC championships and many other national awards. Many of these players are now enjoying careers across the NFL, including at the Las Vegas Raiders, the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, and many other teams.
Such an impressive class that year. Hopefully this class can have something like that. Chris, let's talk more about these guys that are signing today.
Yeah, we can do that. I got to ask real quick, though.
Yeah.
Do you remember those guys coming in for visits? You were part of the roster when those kids were young, weren't you?
Yeah. I remember, Mark Ingram, Kenyon Drake, when those guys were coming around, just special talent, great kids, a lot of like what we got today. You know, guys that have a lot of talent, but their character speaks volume outside of their talent, on the field. And that's what makes you successful as a football player and even as a person in life. You know, your skill set, it matters, but who you are as a person matters even more. And that's why I think this coaching staff does a great job of grabbing great young men to implement into this program. And that's why you've seen the consistent success, year in and year out.
I realized as you were talking about that, I was giving you way too much credit. You're far too old to have been involved with recruiting in 2012. You're way too old for that. Way too old. I was trying to make you younger. But let's talk about some of the young men who are coming in now. Antonio Kite out of Anniston, Alabama. He's a DB. You know a little something about those. 6'1", 180, good size, obviously, is one of the top players in the state.
Yeah, 6'1", 180, like you said, is a great size for a defensive back. And Antonio Kite, and one thing this Kite can do is fly. Right here with this kickoff return, just shows you his skill set. Normally defensive guys, you normally don't give him an opportunity to touch the ball unless they're really, really special. And this guy has that special skill set that can play offense and defense. Right here again, just showing you his speed, ability to catch the ball. I mean, he just outruns the defense and decides, hey, I'm gonna take a victory lap and jogging on in as well.
I thought you DBs couldn't catch, though. That's why you were playing DB, though.
Well,
you showed he could.
That's false.
Okay,
you know,
I just thought so.
The bad DBs can't catch.
Gotcha.
This great DB here, Antonio Kite,
he can catch.
Oh, he can catch.
Okay, making sure.
No doubt about it. And Rashad Johnson can catch as well.
Yeah, I understand. He did indeed.
But he just shows you his skill set across the field. Here defensively on the back end, showing you his range. Getting from the middle of the field all the way to the opposite sideline and then getting his feet down to make the big play. And you love watching this, you know, as a defensive back, seeing a guy that not only is making plays on the ball, but is putting his body in there and making the hits as well.
All right, we're going to talk about another guy. We're not going to have any video of him, but we're going to talk about Dane Shore. He's an offensive tackle, 6'6", 315, out of Alpharetta, Georgia, Denmark High School. A big get and a big player from a neighboring state. No doubt about it. 6'6", 315, offensive tackle. One thing that, you know, we've learned, you know, this season is that you can't have enough offensive linemen. You know, we've had some ups and downs in that position due to some injuries and different things of that nature. So we understand, you know, that having enough offensive linemen in the toolbox to be able to get a chance to step in, you can't have enough of them. So Dane Shore is a great pickup for us. Kid out of a neighboring state. Sure, Georgia was all over him, salivating, but he's a part of the Tide now. Let's go from Georgia and Dane Shore to talking about a young man who's a really good one as well in Elijah Brown. Yeah, Elijah Brown, big tight end, 6'5", 230, out of Ohio. And he looks like a guy, you know, out of Ohio playing football. I think LeBron would be a little more explosive, but in terms of going up and getting the ball, he does a great job of just doing exactly that. Big frame, big body, and he can move down the field as well. Of course, DB is going to make that play, but watch him in the red zone. That's when he's really a tough task. Right here on the cross boot, they lose him in the play fake and just throw it up and watch him make a play. Just a great talent, in the line player. It just shows you, you know, what type of versatility he has when you're drawing up plays that takes him behind the line and then throw it to him on the opposite side of the field. You don't see those plays typically drawn up for a stay in the line tight end, or nor do you see him get an opportunity to play slot receiver and show you his physicality blocking. So, I mean, he's a guy that can do a little bit of it all. I think he's going to fit in very well, you know, with the offense that we run here, being flexed out and being able to play in the box. Here he is again, hand in the ground, just a simple over route, get lost in the shuffle, make the play, and then get up the field. Make a defender miss, you know, just showing you his athleticism there. 6'5", like I said, 230. Normally guys just fall down, don't make a move, don't even try and make a play. But he does a great job there, and then he's getting in on the pancake action as well, man. Really love the physical play from Elijah Brown. So much ask of the tight ends when you're talking about the blocking aspect, the receiving aspect, got to be able to run with the ball afterwards, or some want to be able to run with the football afterwards, and he's certainly one that can. All right, you like the social media stuff? I love social media, man. You got your TikTok, you know, Instagram, Twitter. What's up? No comment, but the answer is yes on both. Yeah. All right, let's go back and check out social media. Let's go see who's that we were going to check on. I believe.
Oh, we love the social media too.
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh my gosh. We love the social media too, isn't that right, Karen? We're going to start with Antonio Kite. He's saying that the process begins here. And look, he's just an all-around athlete. If he can play football as well as he hoops, I think we're in good shape. Don't you think, Karen?
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could do that.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yes.
Who do we got next? We got Dane Shore, just another dreamer. Man, dreams are coming true for you, Dane. T-minus 25 days till he is home here in Tuscaloosa.
Roll Tide to that. Elijah Brown, he's already cradling that trophy, giving it a kiss and saying, roll tide to that, Elijah. We're so excited to have him here in Bryant-Denny Stadium playing soon. And you know what, Chris? Aren't you excited to have all these players coming to Tuscaloosa very soon?
No question, because we're going to need them very soon. We're losing some great talent off of this year's team once the season finally wraps up.
No
but
doubt.
obviously, a lot of football still to take place. All right, we're coming back. We've got more coming your way. It's National Signing Day 2022, and it's brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. As we roll to break, let's take a look at the back half of the regular season so far.
Today, it's Alabama and Mississippi State. And of course, Alabama trying to bounce back off the disappointing loss of a weekend ago.
Let's go. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
Throwing, it is intercepted by Alabama on the far sideline and brought back to the 35-yard line. The middle, Mechie, wide open, breaks a tackle, 30, down the near side with Bolden blocking to the 10. He'll cut inside a tackler, and he's in for the touchdown. Byron Young, come on down. Up to the line of scrimmage, and here comes the pressure, and down goes Rogers. From the 25, 1st and 10. Intercepted Alabama. Pulled down by Jordan. Battle down the right sideline. He's going to go to the goal line. He's in for a touchdown.
Better be careful, because the play action pass will come at some point. Quick strike to Williams. And when Williams turns the corner, look at this. He's gone.
Throwing across the middle. Catch is made. Head of steam. Touchdown. Trayshawn Holden.
Don't play with him.
Throwing it up for grabs. Intercepted by Alabama in the end zone.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir.
And this game really does mean more than just, the next game on the schedule. It's Tennessee.
Here's the give, and again Alabama stops them. Again Alabama stops them. He's in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown Alabama! Price looks long. Jameson Williams behind the defense down at the 19-yard line. He breaks 3, 4 tackles and goes into the end zone. Here's the give. Robinson up the middle. Touchdown Alabama. Here's the snap. Pressure off the edge. Here's the throw. Mechie open. Touchdown Alabama. Big handoff, big hole. Price gets out across and loses the ball at the 40-yard line, and Alabama recovers it. So now a 2nd down and 10. Again, Bryce backpedals, has time. He is gone. Touchdown, Alabama. On it is, knocked down, incomplete. Back, here's the snap, here's the pressure, and there, Will Anderson.
And over the top, it's wide open to Williams. Jamison again. Was in trouble, and he goes down to force this 4th down. Here is hard fought. Slade Bolden is back, but it's blocked. Alabama gets it, and off the carom. Robinson's extra effort. Touchdown, Alabama. Thanks to Roydell Williams. Goes to the end zone. Another touchdown for Jamison Williams. Watch out! Brian Robinson to the house.
Yeah! Yes, nice! Fun. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Here's the snap, here's the pressure, and there's the first sack of the ball game. Jefferson, he'll then go in motion. Jefferson muffs the snap. Alabama says they've got it, and they do. Here now, Bryce looks, throws the out route into the end zone. Mechie, he's got a touchdown, Alabama. Steps up, looks long. Jameson's got the man beat. Touchdown, Alabama.
I don't think they're going to get him. Touchdown, Alabama.
It's a series that dates back to 1893. But a pie tipped and intercepted by Alabama. Give Robinson big hole.
How about Brian Robinson into the clear?
Hurdles over a man. Near side end zone. Get it off. Touchdown, Alabama. Caught by Ja'Cory Brooks in the end zone. What a throw. What a catch. Good Lord, what a day.
They now built like us.
It's going to be legendary, bro.
We are going to overtime. Touchdown, Alabama in overtime. Slade Bolden.
They don't turn me up.
Riker, the kick, and good.
I did it.
Young's left. Goes that way on a quick slant. He's got it to Mechie.
Throws, it is knocked down by Alabama.
The throw goes the other way. Mechie's in. Alabama wins in 4 overtimes.
We never quit.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to a regular stop on the Alabama Crimson Tide schedule. This is the SEC Championship game today against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Let's go. Hey, bro. That's what the world did. Show the world did.
He's going down. Wide open across the middle. Accelerating. Jamison Williams. Touchdown, Alabama. Mechie is there. He'll make the grab. Stands in, looks, throws, corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Touchdown, John Mechie. Running room. He's got it. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Alabama. Bennett looks, throws, intercepted, Helms. Intercepted, Helms. He looks and throws, intercepted, Alabama. Intercepted, Jordan Battle. Alabama is still Alabama.
We picture the student athlete for the hit, the catch, the run. But it's time we picture them for more. The flag bearer, the flag changer, the poet, the big dreams, the huge heart, and the team comedian. More than students, more than athletes.
And the
Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber.
To the bench.
Taylor Sutton.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
How they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds in Bama. They're done. Oh my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
Welcome back, everybody. So glad to have you with us inside Bryant-Denny Stadium for National Signing Day 2022. It is indeed brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. The process for 2022 does indeed begin here. There you see the names of the young men who have sent in the paperwork. They are officially now part of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Some of those young men we'll see on campus very, very soon. We welcome you back inside the locker room here at Bryant-Denny, along with Rashad Johnson. I'm Chris Stewart. Continuing on to look not ahead, very far. Yeah. Anyway, looking ahead just a couple of weeks. December 31st, it is the Cotton Bowl taking place in Dallas.
No doubt.
Cincinnati, a new opponent for Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not really looking ahead because it's the next opponent.
That's
so
right.
we can go ahead and look ahead.
We're
the
allowed.
24-hour rule, we forgot about the SEC Championship. We could start looking ahead on that Monday. So really excited about this opportunity to face a really good Cincinnati team. They've shown some great glimpses on offense of being high-powered. They have over 10 receivers that average 10 yards or more per catch. So that lets you know they're making big explosive plays on the outside. So defensively, that's going to be interesting. But we played well here late in the second half of the season defensively. It really has been a cornerstone of our team. And then looking at their defense, 3-3-5 reminds me of the Ole Miss game. I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Brian Robinson and the offensive line gelling together, doing a great job against Georgia. And I think the physicality is going to be a little bit too much for them.
Let's get more of a breakdown on Bama and the Bearcats from Christopher England and John Parker Wilson.
Number 1 ranked Alabama and 4th ranked Cincinnati will square off in the 86th Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic on New Year's Eve. The Tide and Bearcats have met 5 times before, with Alabama winning all 5 matchups by an average score of 31-5. To preview the matchup between number 1 Alabama and undefeated Cincinnati in the opening round of the college football playoff, I'm joined now by former Alabama and NFL quarterback and current Crimson Tide Sports Network analyst John Parker Wilson. JP, it's great to see you. We keep doing these previews, and I guess that means that's a good thing. Alabama keeps winning.
You're exactly right. Postseason football is here. I hope we've got one more to preview after this one.
I hope so as well. The back-to-back American Athletic Conference champions are 13-0 and have won 22 out of their last 23 games. Their only loss, a 3-point loss to Georgia in last year's Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. This year, their big win was a 24-13 win over 5th-ranked Notre Dame. That game is the difference in Cincinnati being in the college football playoff and Notre Dame being the first one out. What are your overall thoughts on the undefeated Bearcats?
Well, this is a team that knows how to win. I don't care who you're playing, what game you're playing, what sport. If you've got a record like they do, I think it speaks for itself, especially having the resume with Notre Dame on it definitely helps. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and they've been doing that for a couple of years now. Now they've got a chance to represent the group of 5 in the college football playoffs, and I think that's a big thing for them, and they can take that and use this momentum that they've built over this year and last and try to knock off the number 1 team in the country.
Well, JP, Cincinnati leads the AAC and is 9th in the nation in scoring over 39 points per game. Leading the Cincinnati offense is two-time AAC Offensive Player of the Year senior quarterback Desmond Ridder. Ridder is 10th in the nation in passer rating and touchdown passes with 30. Well, Cincinnati has been pretty good at running the ball, too, and a name Alabama fans may be familiar with is Jerome Ford. The Bearcats running back actually played for the Crimson Tide for 2 seasons in 2018 and 19. Ford is 16th in the nation with 1,242 yards this season and 6th with 19 rushing touchdowns. But you know, that run defense for Alabama has been a strength all season. Alabama is 4th nationally, allowing just over 82 yards per game. Now, Alabama is going to have to be ready for a strong passing attack and rushing attack from the Cincinnati offense.
Yeah, they want to remain balanced. They want to challenge the defense coordinator saying, are we going to pass on this down or are we going to throw, because we think we've got the ability to do both. But like you said, our rushing defense to me has really stepped up. And even more so in the past few weeks as we've gotten healthy and we've created a ton of depth. You know, we lost DJ Dale a couple weeks ago in a pregame warm-up. LeBron Ray's played a lot more. But the guys up front, the depth is huge right now from the defensive line. And then obviously our linebackers are playing at an extremely high level. But being able to rotate those guys in and out on the front four, the front 3 down linemen, and keeping them fresh and healthy, I think that's been a huge part of this defense so the past month. And now I think with the time off, those guys can get even more healthy and ready to go for this postseason run.
Well, on the defensive side, Cincinnati has been pretty good too. The Bearcats lead the AAC and is 4th in the nation in scoring defense, allowing just over 16 points per game. AAC Defensive Player of the Year cornerback Ahmad Gardner and Kobe Bryant lead a secondary that is 2nd in the nation in pass defense, allowing just over 168 yards per game. Now, Gardner has never allowed a touchdown. Kobe Bryant is the Thorpe Award winner, and linebacker Darian Beavers is a Butkus Award finalist. There are playmakers all over the Cincinnati defense. However, the Tide is coming off a magnificent performance on offense, scoring 41 points with 536 yards of total offense against the then #1 defense in the nation. Now, Cincinnati's defense is good, but if Georgia can't stop Bryce Young in this Alabama offense, does Cincinnati have any hope of doing so, or are they just going to have to try and keep up?
Well, I think they've got a really good defense. They've got a lot of skilled guys, especially the cornerback position. We talked earlier about the battle up front and giving Bryce Young time. And the last game against Georgia, they were able to do that. And that creates more problems downfield. It forces the defensive backs, the secondary to cover longer. They give our guys a chance to get open and create some long down the field passes that we saw from Jamison Williams and others against Georgia. So this is going to be it's going to be a challenge. Good linebacker, extraordinary secondary. But I don't know if Cincinnati's played an offensive front like Alabama, and especially the way they played against Georgia. So hopefully we continue that. But it's going to be about creating separation. Bryce is very accurate. He's the Heisman Trophy winner, which is awesome to say. But you got to be able to create separation. And like you said, one of these guys hadn't get up a touchdown all season long. So knowing that going to the game, I think the receivers just have to raise their play even more than they've done all season long.
All right, thank you, JP.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Kickoff for the college football playoff semifinal game of the Cotton Bowl is set for 2:30 Central on ESPN. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, guys. And again, the process does indeed continue, trying to find guys at all positions.
Yeah.
Certainly, though, we learned this year, unfortunately, you can never have enough running backs. And Bama's got a good one in Jamarian Miller.
Yeah, they have a really good one. Kid out of Texas, almost had 5,000 yards rushing in the past 4 seasons. You do the math.
I'd rather not. I was told there'd be no math and there would be snacks.
Yeah, no doubt. But how about, let's just watch him run these highlights. A guy that just takes the ball, has the ability to cut, great balance, and then the breakaway speed. Right there, just tremendous athlete from the state of Texas. Just love watching him play. He has a downhill attack about him, and then he can make plays out of the backfield as a receiver as well, as you can see there. A design, play action, run him down the middle of the field. How versatile can you be? Back to the run game. Once again, showing you his balance, his shiftiness, and then those knees. If they say high knees, I don't think you can get him any higher than that, the way he's galloping down the field there. Here, just a simple stretch to the left, read your keys, put that foot in the ground and get north. I mean, just really good player. Gonna fit in really well with the schemes that we run here in terms of just being able to change direction in there with the balance, putting his hand down, stand up, and then the ability to run away. He's tiptoeing on the marble flows. Man, touchdown. That was a great play. Like I said, this guy is just special all the way around. His vision, and then that home run threat there. I mean, it was like he slid it through there like a snake, man. But really crafty as a running back. Really, really crafty. It's going to be exciting to watch him step in as an early signee and get an opportunity to get some reps during this bowl season and in the spring. I think he can get in the rotation early, man. He's special.
Tyler, Texas. Same hometown as the former Heisman Trophy winner for the Longhorns, Earl Campbell. Now, he's about half the size of Earl, but he could be every bit the player. He's big time.
No doubt about it. Reminds me of Earl, the way he slashes through that defense. Just very special, like you said. Big name to live up to, but he got the talent.
Does indeed. All right, let's go from there. And Jamarian Miller. Let's go to Amari Niblack. Tell us about him.
Amari Niblack is a great player out of Lakewood High School, athlete. Right here, just a big frame. Reminds me of a guy that I played with out in Arizona by the name of Larry Fitzgerald. Just a big guy, not a guy that can separate. We've been seeing a lot of guys that has that separation in terms of speed and ability, but he's a crafty player. The way he uses his body there to get the DB to shift and then get back inside, using his body to make plays. Same thing you're gonna watch here. Get him in the red zone, opportunity to make a play, throw it up. Let's just play some basketball. You know, great balance, doesn't even fall down in the back there, just shows you his ability, his balance, and just how athletic and versatile he is. Now at the tight end position, with his hand in the dirt, once again, he's just rebounding balls, man. And just a great player at doing that and body positioning players. So I can see us using him in a multitude of ways. Out at X receiver when you got a mismatch versus a DB like that, or putting him down at tight end and throwing it up against a linebacker. I mean, he's a mismatch across the field. Big player. Big-time player for us.
Speaking of big-time players, there is another one that's in this class that I've had the chance to see for about 3 years, playing at Thompson High School. Jeremiah Alexander, 6'2", 250, and a linebacker, top-rated player in the state, one of the top edge rushers in the country, and you were talking about him earlier today as well.
Man, just some of my favorite film to watch. This play here, he's playing the C gap in between those two defenders, holds his gap into the defender's breakaway, and then he's right in position. I mean, he's just technique sound. Here, he has the edge. He gets blocked back, see the runaway, cross the face, dive in and make the play. I mean, he does his job. He does it so well that he makes it look easy. Right here, he has the edge, knock back, keep the edge, now fall back in and make the play. I mean, just his ability to be as explosive as he is. Right here, a TED game. In, go up the field, tackle, come back inside. I mean, the 3 steps up to make that tackle, have to read him and then come back under. He's just so fundamentally sound and well coached. You can tell, you know, Thompson wins a lot of state championships because, I mean, their kids are disciplined. This looks like he's been in our defense, you know, for 3 or 4 years. He's not going to have any issues once he gets here on campus.
Doesn't look like he runs himself out of position.
At all. Doesn't run himself out of position because he's smart. He understands what his job is, and then once things break away, I can now just pursue the ball and be a football player. So there's a difference in, you know, running yourself out of position and then taking the opportunity to be in position and then making the play. He does a great job of being in position. Once the play goes away from him, then falls in and does a great job of being a pursuit to the ball. Just a special talent all the way around.
All right, Rashad, let's check back in with Kennedy and Kira.
Now let's take a look back at some more social media from some of our recruits. We have Jamarian Miller, and he's tweeting that it's almost that time, smiling with his mother in the tunnel where we're standing right now.
That's a beautiful picture. We have Amari Niblack. Looks a little familiar, a guy named Amari wearing number 9. God took me out the crowd because his path is different. He's ready to come be a part of the capstone here at Alabama.
And then we have Jeremiah Alexander, good visit, one of the best to do it. He's standing here with head coach Nick Saban, and then his heart. He appreciates the Thompson family and every school who believed in him. So we have obviously some amazing names here in this commit class, but then we also have, just 5 years ago in that 2017 signing class, some more amazing influential names. Let's take a look at some of those recruits.
Starting off this #1 ranked 2017 signing class with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. He was in the 2020 NFL draft and was drafted in the first round as the 5th pick for the Miami Dolphins. He also was the Orange Bowl MVP, won the Maxwell Award, and was a runner-up to the Heisman Trophy. We also have running back Najee Harris in the 2021 NFL draft in the first round as the 24th pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's also a 2-time national champion and 2-time SEC champion. Then we have wide receiver Devontae Smith. He was in the 2021 NFL draft in the first round as the 10th pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was also the Heisman Trophy winner, a 2-time national champion, and a 2-time SEC champion. We also have quarterback Mac Jones. He was in the 2021 NFL draft in the first round as the 15th pick for the New England Patriots. He was also a Heisman Trophy runner-up, a 2-time national champion, and a 2-time SEC champion. And to finish off this class, we have wide receiver Jerry Jeudy in the 2020 NFL draft, going in the first round as the 15th pick for the Denver Broncos.
Some great names in that 2017 signing class. We have more names coming up in this 2022 signing class when we come back.
What you do every day matters. At Alabama, it's our process that yields legendary results. This is where ideas forge innovation, dreams unleash opportunities, and contenders become champions. How far do you want to go? The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds. And Bama, they throw it. Oh, my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot.
Signing Day 2022. It's presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. Along with Kira Goldstein, Kennedy Chase, Rashad Johnson, I'm Chris Stewart. Let's get right back to looking at some of those young men that have signed with the Crimson Tide today, making it what could be the #1 ranked recruiting class in the country when all the dust has settled. And we begin with a wide receiver out of New Orleans. He's Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, man, and Louisiana's sick about this one. They had him committed, decommitted, now part of the Tide family. What a special talent. He wears the deuce, and I used to wear the deuce in high school. The deuce is gonna get loose, is what I used to say. And he has that skill set. Just a crafty receiver, just smooth in the way he attacks. Doesn't look as fast as he is, but obviously to split 2 defenders, the kid can run. That's the first thing that jumps off the screen. Next is just his decision-making in terms of understanding how to run routes. Here, getting on the defender's toes and then breaking out. Don't leave him an opportunity to make a play. I love this craftiness here. He's showing the block, pulls him through, big play down the field. Just a crafty guy all around, and then a big guy. He isn't, just a really small kid, 185 pounds. Looks more stout than that as a player, and stronger than that because of the way that he's running through tackles. And let's watch this kickoff return here. Just showing you his speed again, ability to change direction. And he's got a motorcade, you know, kind of like our group do, heading to the airport as he's heading into the end zone. Right here, double A, Aaron Anderson. Give it to him again. Oh, double move. Just very, very crafty with how he approaches the game and just sets guys up. He can play outside, inside, which is very important. Your versatility is always needed at that wide receiver position. Can't just play one role because they can put one guy on you. But when he's high pointing the ball like that, it really doesn't matter who they put on you. Once again here, showing you his ability as a punt returner. You always want to have an opportunity to get a guy who can, you know, make plays on special teams. It changes the field position. It changes games. We saw it in the national championship in 2017 with Kenyon Drake taking a kickoff to the house to help us win that national championship. And when you got a guy that can make those type of plays, it's exciting to watch him when he's back there as a punt returner because your guys are excited because they know they got a chance for 6. And Aaron Anderson, he's a 6 machine.
All right, a guy that has people just as excited, but a very different look, comes from the state of Alabama, the Montgomery area, Pike Road, 6'2", 260, big D lineman, I should say, in Curtis Perry.
Yeah, 6'2", 260, kind of a twinner, you know what I'm saying? He's not as tall, not really 300 pounds, but he can move off the ball. And that's what you see out of this guy. He can put his hand in the dirt, play inside as he's doing here. His quickness makes it too much for guys to be able to block him. Right there, closing the ground. And then when you put him on the outside, as he's naturally good at 6'2", 260, he's going to be too much for the little guys out there as a running back or a tight end having an opportunity to block him. So this has a very rare skill set based on his size and ability, but he uses it to his fullest no matter where he's lined up at. Once again, here outside pass rush just shows you the straight speed and then finish with aggression on the quarterback there. Curtis Perry, man, a great in-state signee and a guy that we're going to see on 3rd down early on.
So we've talked about a couple of young men at different spots.
Yeah.
We've seen a running back, we've seen a D lineman, obviously important. But you know where the spotlight always goes.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
the quarterback slot. You don't even sound happy about it. I know that. It's going to get back to John Parker. That's why you don't want to talk about it. But the guy that's out of Martin, Tennessee, Ty Simpson, is certainly one that everybody's excited about.
No doubt. I can definitely get excited about him. Special talent. He can do it all. He can do it with his arms, can do it with his leg. Just a dual threat guy. As you watch him here, just sitting in the pocket, calm, drop back here, put it on him, just like a BB. Put it right on him. Guy can catch the ball in stride and ability to continue to make the play down the field. That's what you love to see. And then he's got a little bit of Bryce Young in him as well, the ability to be able to run the ball. Design run here, though, something that's a little bit different. Forces that free safety now to have to be a factor in the game when you can design runs for your quarterback on a counter play like we did there. I was thinking a little bit ahead. I was watching this magic here on this play. He's showing you some of his Disney magic. Guys all over the place. Reminds me of Kyler Murray on Monday night. And watch this off the back leg. Wow. I mean, just a tremendous play. Nothing you really can say about that, but is wow. You know, no description is enough to show you the talent that you're seeing right there. Once again, design run. Fake it to the running back, guard, tackle, pull back. This is a tough play for teams, you know, in college football and even in the NFL. So when you got a guy like Ty Simpson, you know, who can run the ball and call those design runs the way, you know, that his team is doing in Tennessee, and we're going to do here at Alabama, it's going to make it really, really tough. And then scrambling in the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field all the time. Reminds me of Bryce. It doesn't seem like the pressure is too much for him. He's waiting on the pipe to break so he can bust out of it and make a big play, obviously, because that's what he continues to do. And I think this is what everybody loves to see, a quarterback with precision. You watch him throw the football in the bucket as a player all the time, and that's no more precise than that. Great player.
Made what was not a simple play look very simple right there. Ty Simpson, again, a part of what is, once again, one of the top recruiting classes in all of college football. But it's not just on the gridiron that Alabama is having tremendous success, and in the recruiting front as well. For more on what's happening on the hardwood, we check back in with Kira and Kennedy.
Well, we'll show you a little bit of basketball in a second, but let's get back to the social media, right, Kira?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to start off with Aaron Anderson. He is ready to meet the Bama standard. We love to see it. He's blessed to attend the University of Alabama.
Look at him in that pose, right?
Yeah.
Ready to go. Then we have Curtis Perry. I'm steady winning with God on my side, me versus me. University of Alabama, look at him. He's ready for the Crimson Tide.
It's an
and
iconic
then he's
selfie.
proud to represent the 334 in Titletown. Sean Deion Hamilton, former Bama great player for us.
Representing Montgomery. Love it. Love to see it. And here's Ty Simpson, the quarterback recruit out of Tennessee. This is very impressive. Look at him holding that. Look at him laughing with Coach Saban. That's cute. They look like they're having a fun time. Something about that crimson.
Something about that crimson. And now it's time for some basketball. Starting off with women's basketball, we have Carly Weathers, who is committed to the Crimson Tide. She is a guard from Loretto High School in Loretto, Tennessee, ranked 83 overall in the 2020 class, according to the Junior All-State Report, All-Star Report. And she's also a three-time Tennessee Class A first-team selection. And then on the men's side, we have Brandon Miller. He's a forward from Cane Ridge High School in Antioch, Tennessee. ESPN ranked number 4 in small forward and number 13 overall player. He's also the 2021 Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. And now we have Jaden Bradley, a point guard from IMG Academy in Rochester, New York. He's a 5-star recruit and rated number 1 point guard in 2022 class and number 8 overall player in ESPN 100. He's earned first-team All-State Conference Player of the Year honors as a junior. Now we have Nick Pringle. He's a forward from Dodge City Community College, Woodford, in Seabrook, South Carolina, rated as number 1 JUCO power forward and number 2 overall JUCO prospect by 247 Sports Composite. Now we have Noah Clowney. He's a forward from Dorman High School in Roebuck, South Carolina, ranked as the consensus number 1 prep player in the state of South Carolina. He's averaged 17.5 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks per game in the AAU circuit. And now we have Rylan Griffin, a guard from Richardson High School in Dallas, Texas, one of the top shooting guards in the nation. He's a 4-star signee and number 5 ranked guard for the 2022 class. You know what, Chris, is exciting on the hardwood as well as the football field.
There is no question about it. Nate Oates had the famous line last year, Rashad, after the SEC tournament title was claimed. He goes, why do we have to be a football or a basketball school? Just be a championship school, and that is certainly what the Tide is trying to do once again. We continue our look at National Signing Day 2022, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, when we come back right after this.
We picture the student athlete for the hit, the catch, the run. But it's time we picture them for more. The flag bearer, the flag changer, the poet, the big dreams, the huge heart, and the team comedian. More than students, more than athletes.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber.
To the bench.
Taylor shot.
No brick, no.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes.
The buzzer sounds in Bama. They throw it. Oh, my goodness!
We don't have to be a football school or a basketball school. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
Bryce Young recently became the 4th member of the Alabama Crimson Tide to win the Heisman Trophy. He joined some other Alabama winners, including Mark Ingram. He won it in 2009. There he is holding his trophy, as well as Derrick Henry. He won it in 2015. Kissing the trophy, that's beautiful. And Devontae Smith, he won it last year. It's just the 5th time that a school has won back-to-back trophies. And here he is coming up, Bryce Young. There's the man. He became the first Alabama quarterback to win the trophy. Let's take a look back at that historic night in New York.
The winner of the 2021 Heisman Memorial Trophy is Bryce Young.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I couldn't be here, and through him, all things are possible. I'd like to thank my dad, for always being there for me. From day one, you've always been by my side. You've always been a supporter, more than just a father, but a best friend to me. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. My mom, for always having my back, always supporting me. It's not always easy. I'm always running around, not all the time. You understand it, but you always have my back. You always supported me, and for that, I'm forever grateful. I'd like to thank the rest of my family also, everyone out there that supported me. I'm super grateful. I'd like to thank my teammates, my O-line for protecting me, allowing me to win an award like this. My receivers, running backs, defense for giving me the ball back. Everyone on the team for, whenever you can win an award like this, it goes as an individual award, but it's a team award because I couldn't do it without any of those guys.
It was a historic night in New York as Bryce became the first Alabama quarterback to win the award. A very special message to him from the winner before him, Devontae Smith. Let's take a look at what Devontae had to say.
Bryce, from the day you stepped foot on campus, we knew you were different. Sure, people had their doubts. Too small, too skinny. They said the same thing about me. But here you are. I remember 2020. You waited your turn. You developed. You bought into the process. Some people might have forgotten the first touchdown pass at Alabama. Little did they know, that pass from one Heisman winner to another. When the world panics and the deck is stacked against you, you just smile. When your back's against the wall, you fight your way out.
It's been so poised.
When people ask, what's Bryce Young's Heisman moment? You answer with 97 yards in 1 minute and 35 seconds.
In the corner, got it! Touchdown, Alabama!
Then everyone doubts you again.
Better pull a Houdini act.
And once again, magic. But when everyone else doubted, we believed. So from the entire Alabama family, we just want to say thank you and welcome to the Heisman Brotherhood.
A lot of names up here on this board, and who knows, there could be another Heisman winner somewhere in here. What do you think, Chris and Rashad?
No, I think you're exactly right, and that's part of why you come to Alabama is to be in position to play for championships, to be in a spotlight, and to have that chance. And it's incredible to think when you came to Alabama, there had not been a Heisman Trophy winner. And then with Mark, now there are 4, and Alabama's, I think, 5th on the all-time Heisman list.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like you said, when we got here, the history, the legacy of the Crimson Tide, and not to have a Heisman winner. It was great to watch Mark come in as a freshman, being an older guy, having a chance to impact him and touch his life a little bit as a player, and see him grow into who he's grown into. Heisman Trophy deserving, rightfully so, for Mark. Same for Bryce Young this year. Such a young talent. Get a chance to come back next year and hopefully put it together again.
And have great targets to throw to, such as the ones that'll be returning, but also newcomers like Shaz Preston. Talk to us about the 6-foot, 190-pounder out of St. James, Louisiana.
Oh, man, Shaz Preston, he has his own street jazz. The way he just moves, the game moves to his music. He's smooth with his play. And he makes big-time plays with the ball when it's in the air. Right here, just see him change the direction right there to put his feet in the ground, and now the ability just to run away from guys. Just shows his uniqueness and his skill set at the receiver position. One-on-one outside, just throw it up. I'm going to take it off his head, coach. You know, that's the type of player that he is. Right here, just design plays to him. We're just gonna give it to him on a sweep, out in the open field, run past the defender, then ability here. Make him stop his feet, start him back. My car starts a little faster than yours, son. So he's just elite in everything that he does. Right here, following Odell Beckham with the one-handed grab, left-handed at that. So I'll give him the extra bonus points, 'cause I'm sure he's not left-handed. But Shaz Preston, man, he's gonna be a guy that I think can come in and play for us early on. Right here, the ability to catch this ball was special, but to stay on his feet and score makes him a superstar. So I think this kid really has an opportunity to maybe host that trophy if he comes in and produces and continues to stick to the process and do the things that Coach said, apply himself and develop, because the talent, obviously, as we can see, is there.
And again, part of the formula, take care of business today.
No doubt. Be where your feet are. Be where your feet are.
We're going to talk about another young man. We don't have video of him, but Jahad Campbell's a linebacker, 6'3", 215. He is out of IMG Academy most recently, but he's a New Jersey native originally.
Yeah, Jahad Campbell, like you said, linebacker, great position. You can't have enough of those guys, whether it's in the middle or he's outside of the pass rusher. So excited, you know, to watch this kid. Like I said, don't have any highlights on him, but obviously four-star player, a part of the Tide. The right guys have watched him. We know he can play.
We do know, indeed, that he can play as all of these guys can, but they don't get an opportunity to come to the University of Alabama. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we've got more of our National Signing Day 2022 special. It's right here, and it's brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama.
What you do every day matters. At Alabama, it's our process that yields legendary results. This is where ideas forge innovation, dreams unleash opportunities, and contenders become champions. How far do you want to go? The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
I love how they have no fear. Man, it's all of them. Everybody's chasing Alabama.
Come on now! Alabama raining down the threes. The buzzer sounds. In Bama, they throw it. Oh, my goodness!
We don't have to be a football score or basketball score. We just win championship.
The job's not finished. We're not done yet.
It's a done deal. 995. It's in. Alabama, the 2021 SEC champions.
I'm so proud of them. They have worked so hard. They have been fighters.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama is really playing with max effort.
I can't shoot no brick. 9:30 in the morning. Hustle like I ain't getting no portion. While you was dormant, let you sleep since that's so important. Practice my form, I done broke out of the no.
Hannah Barber
to the bench.
Taylor shot.
So about 100 years ago, when Rashad Johnson was probably not even thought of yet, I'm just guessing. You may have been a little toddler running around, but I'm going to guess you had not graced the earth with your presence yet. Yeah. I was doing high school football in Calera, Alabama. WBYE Radio, rest its soul. It's no longer with us. So when I see that Alabama signed a kid from Calera,
yeah,
I get really excited. And Kobe Prentice, 5'10", 170, played for the Eagles, but now he's going to be part of the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, part of the Crimson Tide, and with a name like Kobe, got to be a baller.
No doubt.
And wait till you watch his film. He's exactly that, explosive, all the way across the board, running back, receiver. He can do it all. Most importantly, just makes big plays every time he touches the ball. Here on the cross boot, get him out in the flat, open field, one-on-one. Guys don't even want to tackle him. Let me just fall down so I don't have to even step in his way, is what number 2 said there. But just his speed and athleticism. Once again, get him the ball in space, ability to take the ball all the way back across field, and then not go out of bounds. His slick and slither his way through, just special at the position. Wide receiver screen. Get him the ball in space, coach, and let him play. Kobe Prentice is printing touchdowns every time he touches the ball. This is like a run for us. Throw it out here in the flats. One-on-one, can you make the tackle? Not with a guy like him. Foot in the ground, change directions one more time. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? I'm going to the pylon, coach. Meet me there. He's that elite, and his parents knew what they were doing when they named him Kobe, because when he gets the ball in his hand, you want to say, Kobe!
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, big play. All the way around the board, exciting, in-state athlete. Excited to have him a part of the Tide.
So you got Kobe Prentice, but you've also got another really, really talented, explosive player in Earl Little Jr., who's making his way to Tuscaloosa as well.
Yeah, really excited about this guy.
Yeah.
He's a defensive back. He just plays crafty football. Earl Little Jr. just sounds like he'll take your toy, and he's gonna steal that. He's gonna steal that football if you put it in his area anytime. Right here, he's showing you his ability to drop deep in coverage. Anything behind you means something in front of you, and he can make the play in open space, showing his physicality there. Just a beautiful athlete to watch. Not only does he cover the pass, but he can rush it as well. Coming off the edge, showing his ability to blitz. This is my favorite play. Pre-snap, steps inside, cut off the defender. He knew what was coming before the play even happened. And to do that at a high school level just lets me know that we got ourselves a special, special talent that I can't wait to get under the tutelage of Nick Saban, because it's only going to go through the ceiling if he's already making plays like this at the high school level. Just a special talent, Earl Little Jr., but making big plays.
So we've seen wide receiver, DB. Now we're going to go back in the trenches again.
Yeah.
Let's check out a big D lineman out of Columbia, Mississippi, 6'4", 360 pounds, talking about Jaheim Oates. Otis.
You don't want no parts of this guy. 6'4", 360. He is a big man that can move, and that is rare to see. You see him here getting outside of the hash, making a play on the second play. First is penetration. Now his ability to stretch the play out outside of the hash and running the running back down. You usually don't see big guys making those type of plays. And then there with the swim move, he's showing you he can dance a little bit. You know, I'm not just a big behemoth that's gonna try and run through you, but I got some gracefulness in my football IQ and acumen, and I can do other things. And he shows you that versatility and athletic ability that just makes you salivate as a defensive coach. I know Freddie Roach and Pete Golden are ecstatic about having this type of presence here, just splitting the double team. How can a guy 360 pounds split anything? But he split those guys there and made a great play.
And not just clogging the hole, going and making a play.
Yeah, he's not just a guy that just sits in the like you said, at the defensive line and trying to clog the hole. He's a guy that's pursuing the ball, getting outside of the hashes at 360 pounds is not typical, but he's gonna have to do that here in today's football, how the game is played sideline to sideline, and he showed he can do just that. So gonna be a tremendous addition to our defensive line.
All right, let's check back in with Kennedy.
Thanks, Chris and Rashad. Under head coach Nick Saban, since 2009, the Crimson Tide has produced 106 NFL draft picks. Within this past year, the 2021 draft, 10 former players were selected, including 6 first-round picks. Let's take a look at this past NFL draft in 2021.
Back here again. Fury on the track with no intro, let's just begin. Changing up my shoes on the
With the 6th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama.
We're going to do our best to, try to make plays, and hopefully we can make it happen. I'm trying to be a part of something special.
The Denver Broncos select Pat Surtain, Jr., defensive back, Alabama.
Man, it's a special feeling, man. I can't wait to get to Denver and, compete and ball out.
was trying to leave.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
Coming day in, day out in Alabama, going against guys like Pat, just making me better every day, me making him better. I mean, that's what it's all about. I'm excited.
The 6-time world champion New England Patriots select Mac Jones.
Watch out for that beam, that light gon'
I've got a chance to play under some legendary coaches, even in high school, and like you said, with Coach Saban. So I'm looking forward to taking Coach Belichick's coaching. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The Las Vegas Raiders select Alex Leatherwood, tackle, Alabama. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Najee Harris, running back, Alabama.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Landon Dickerson.
Hey, look, I'm excited to get up there. Just let me know. I told him I can start driving now. I'll be there in a little while.
The New England Patriots select Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama.
And New England's going Bama.
There you go. Well, Philadelphia went Alabama too.
Are you allowed to draft players outside of Alabama?
6 first-rounders, man. Just another day at the office for the Bama boys. NFL everything you.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, one historic record-setting year for the Crimson Tide. Now, Rashad, who are some names you might see on that stage in a few years?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in state. A guy by the name of Jeremiah Alexander. Everybody's salivating over this guy, 5-star recruit out of Thompson High School, won a lot of state championships while he was there. He's going to show you why right here. Right here, just playing the C gap, being in position here, just showing his technique, taking on 2 blockers there, the ability to take on 2 guys, stay in his gap, keep his footing, and then still able to make the play. Just shows you how special he is as a talent. And then here, lined up outside shade of the play, run goes away. Run's going away from him here, and then he's able to cross face and still get in and make the play. Just shows you how talented he is as a player. And I'm froze up a little bit, but I'll get it going for you. It's all good, but just a great player, does a great job crossing the face here, making a play. Let's go to the next athlete. Let's go to, let's connect. Perfect. Sorry, Earl Little was a great player. Here we go, we're rolling now. Comes back, make the play, great job. You know, technology nowadays, we're in 2021, it happens to us all. Just showing the ability to press the line of scrimmage and then fall back, making a play. Just a tremendous athlete in everything that he does. He does it fundamentally sound and just very explosive in all that he does at the front line. Perfect. Right here, Earl Little Jr. just does a tremendous job showing his craftiness here. DB doesn't give the quarterback room to know exactly what he's doing. He's playing back and forth, baits him into that play there. Here on the outside, doing the same thing. Starts out deep, then his ability to drive down on the ball here, make the play. Something behind you, something in front of you. Just his ability to make plays in space. And not only that, shows you his skill set, rushing off the edge, closing in. He's not scared to be a physical player. And this is my favorite play. Pre-snap, steps in, knows what's coming to him, takes away the inside route. I mean, that is some special talent at a high school level that I'm excited to watch Coach Saban get his hands on because his playmaking ability is going through the roof for sure.
Great job, partner. Everything's great when it works.
Yeah, I know, right?
And that's kind of recruiting. You get all these guys on campus, you hope everything works. That's the coaching staff's responsibility from there.
No doubt. I definitely think that the coaching staff hopes everything works, but Coach Saban does more than hope. They have a process in play. These guys are going to get under the tutelage of a great staff, great group of young men and women around them, and are going to groom them into the Tide that we see today. I'm excited to watch these young men grow into men.
Some people hope. Nick Saban wishes.
No doubt.
Wishes. For Rashad, for Kira, for Kennedy, I'm Chris. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Roll Tide, everybody.